Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're here at St Mawes. What is the classic view of St Mawes? So part of the video today will be me trying to find that classic view of St Mawes. To me, the castle and the harbour are the two elements that tell me it's St Mawes. And from here I think I might be able to include them, but first, because the cloud is over here, when we arrived it was beautiful sunshine, the cloud has just drifted over and it's passing its way slowly through. Whilst I'm waiting for that, I'm going to actually go down on the beach and just see if there is any sea glass here so that I can incorporate the view and the sea glass. Not much of a beach, is there?
The tide's just started to go out.
Yeah. Here comes my helper. Can you see any, boy? No. Can I? Oh, yes. I've got one. That's a good start. Yay! So it is on the beach.
Oh, we got a blue bit.
I did. I don't know if that's plastic actually.
Oh, interesting.
So I really like this view. You've got the rocks in the foreground and I love the green and brown seaweed. And you've got St Mawes in the distance. And if I just turn it that way a little bit, we've got the castle too. Is this my view of St Mawes? What do you think, boy? Is that quite a good view? Yeah. It's not bad, is it? That could be my painting. The other thing I want to get is a view from the end of the pier, looking back towards the harbour. And I want to go to the other beach, see if there's any sea glass over there, and get a view closer to the castle. Although, it's going to be a tough one, this one. Should we go on over?
Yeah.
Come on then. Come on, boy. I quite like this shot. You've got the Hottentot fig here in the foreground, and the pine trees framing it, and then you've got the little harbour.
That's the shot.
With the ferry. We could use the blue sea glass in the ferry. Although we can see Pendennis and the castle, we can't see St Mawes Castle anymore, so nice little shot. Don't know that it's the right one for me. Oh, we're exploring today. So this little beach is next to the Idle Rocks Hotel. Oh gosh, is it small?
I love this little harbour.
I know,
It's
it's
busy,
so
isn't
cute,
it?
isn't it?
No, it's not like your traditional fishing harbour either. It's more for sort of visitors, really, isn't
Tourism, isn't it?
it? Yeah, day trips and little putt-putt boats. And
Yeah, little kayaks on the quay over there.
Stuff, yeah.
I like this too.
You've got the place ferry coming in here.
Oh yeah.
The little tiny blue one. And you've got the main ferry going across to Falmouth there as well.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're going to do a project, it's just nice to have a bit of an amble, a bit of a wander, absorb the atmosphere, and then you get a greater sense of it when you start to paint it. We're here on the harbour wall now, the actual pier. It's a pontoon with all the little motorboats tied up to it today. Oh, and a couple of fishing boats there too. And the end of the pier has all been cordoned off. I guess it's a working pier, not really one of those pretty touristy piers. I don't know that this is my view either. So, what's over the wall then? Not much. So this, I think, is a bit prettier. It's unfortunately quite an overcast day. It's meant to clear up later. We might get some more photos after our walk that we do this afternoon. But that's got the little castle in it and the beautiful old cottages. They are exquisite, and I love the pastel colours. I just want that view, that inspiring view. So we're going to go and have some lunch and hope the sun comes out.
I think I found the view, Sarah.
What's that?
The screen pan. See what I mean? Gorgeous, isn't it? Mine in 99, please.
And now I'm on Tavern Beach at St Mawes, and I'm going to have a little look for some extra sea glass. So we have been on this beach before, so we know there's some sea glass readily available here. Oh, missed it. Quite a bit there. I think we can do something with that. Oh, I'm filming. Hello. I'm out in the garden today. I've reviewed the St Mawes photographs. I think I've found a composition I'd love to paint. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to incorporate the sea glass that I collected on the beach into a watercolour. The reason I've chosen this photograph, I love the huge body of water. St Mawes is on the River Fowl, and to me that body of water tells me I'm on the River Fowl. And which town am I in? Well, there's another clue. The little castle is on the headland as you come down towards the water, St Mawes Castle. So I've got the water, I've got the castle, I've also got the harbour, and the buildings in St Mawes, one or two of the hotels are very distinctive in their shape. So that to me tells me it's St Mawes. I love also the rocks as they go towards the sea and the big pebbles, and that's the bit that I need the foreground to incorporate some sea glass later. So we've got lots of sea glass that I've collected, and some of it is really tiny. It's too small for me to drill and put in a sea glass stack and attach to a picture, but I've got an idea how I can incorporate some of these smaller pieces into a picture. So for this project I've got watercolour paper, my little watercolours palette obviously, some brushes. The thing that is unusual about this, I also have some jewellery craft wire, an adhesive glue and the sea glass. So I know that my frame finish size is going to be 7 by 7. I've just taped a bit of watercolour down and done a quick sketch including that castle hotel. I'm hoping that this is big enough that I can depict that quite well. And then we've got the little tier of houses as they fade away along the coastline up to the castle. And this is actually Pendennis Castle, so the symmetry is beautiful that you've got the two castles that Henry VIII built all those years ago. burnt umber and thick violet, ultramarine violet, and it gives me that kind of rock colour, but with some warmth, and it's too bad. There's some crevices, and what is intriguing to me are these pebbles that kind of fill in the holes, and there's some in quite a strong yellowy colour. I'm going to cap in yellow with burnt umber just to suggest flecks of pebbles that are filling in between the rocks, and they look like quite hard, quartzy, granity things. There's a lot of seaweed in this picture, and we're going to go for the green. Mostly seaweed down this little crevice here. I'm going to wash out my brush now. I think I'm done. What do you think?
It's looking nice. I could sit there, eat my lunch.
Yeah, and look at St Mawes in the distance. So what I'm going to do now is to choose little pieces of sea glass to put within the clumps of the seaweed, browns and greens, just to give it a 3D effect. I want to make it look like a tumble. So let's choose some pieces. All these different bits and pieces that you managed to find on a beach. Now I like that one because that's got lots of curves in it. It looks quite natural. And we want some smaller bits out towards the sea to give you an idea of it receding. So you don't get many greeny blue colours like that. That is quite beautiful. I wonder if I could use that to maybe represent one of the rocks underwater in that rock pool. I think that looks quite pretty. And finally I think I'll put that one there, just a bit of a contrast with the dark brown seaweed. Might change that. I quite like that though. Okay, let's stick them down. So these pieces are so tiny. But they look good. See the sun shining through them. Oops, there we go. Nearly dropped it. Okay, we'll leave those to dry and come back and do the final bit. Now for the really fiddly bit. I'm going to take some of this craft wire and wrap it around those tiny pieces of sea glass. It's quite fiddly, so I have to do it patiently. And I have a pin, a normal pin from my needlework box, and it's got a lovely big round head on it, which allows me to put some pressure on and go through the paper. Now with that brown stone, oh, we've been joined yet again. Let me just remove him. Oh really? Yes, come on. I know. So I like the dark copper going over a stone like that. I think it contrasts really nicely. So I'm taking about 2 inches of copper, dark copper wire. Just going to make a little loop and then find those holes I made a moment ago. It just secures that stone or piece of glass in place.
Do you have a name for this method?
Well, we didn't know what to call them, did we? So we're kind of referring to them as little pearls of sea glass. I know that I have seen online, I think it's specifically the blue bits of sea glass being called mermaid's tears. which is really romantic, isn't it? Perhaps I should call these pixie pieces. Bisky pieces. So those little bits of wire just give it a little bit of shine. It catches the light. And when the sun is shining through the sea glass, of course it lights up anyway. I'm going to put another pale copper one on this one, and then I think I'm done. So I've framed it all up. Let's have a look at it. Here's my interpretation of St Mawes. It's a watercolour background. These pieces of sea glass were collected on the very beach that this view is taken from, and it inspired me with this gorgeous bright green seaweed, beautiful brown seaweed, to use the sea glass and form clumps of seaweed. It's really exciting. And then you've got that beautiful expanse of water with St Mawes tumbling down to the sea in the background. And the best bit, in my opinion, you've got two castles, St Mawes Castle and Pendennis. So I'll pop this on my Etsy store. I'm feeling quite inspired, so I think I might carry on and do a few more this afternoon. Thanks for watching.